C. Reconvene. Mr. Navarez is attending telephonically. Welcome, President Navarez. Can you hear us? President Navarez, can you hear us? All right, we'll wait for President Navarez, but in the meantime, we'll go to the Pledge of Allegiance. The flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We will now take a 30-second moment of silence. Thank you. Moving to D, presentation. D1, Alhambra Foundation for the Future scholarship recipients.
Good evening, President Navarez. We hope you're here. Governing board members, Superintendent Dr. Maez, and members of the Alhambra community. Thank you for the opportunity to be here tonight. I have the privilege of serving on the Alhambra Foundation for the Future. And at Alhambra, we know that education extends beyond the walls of our schools. Every day, our teachers, support staff, administrators, and families work together to help students build the knowledge, skills, and confidence they need to pursue their dreams. The Alhambra Foundation for the Future is proud to continue supporting those dreams long after our students have been promoted from our district. The foundation's scholarship began in 1961. What began with just 4 scholarships has grown into a lasting investment in our students and their futures, and that growth continues today. This year, I'm proud to share for the upcoming 2026 school year, the foundation has awarded 46 scholarships to deserving former Alhambra students. We have some of them right behind us right now, and they pursuing their educational goals. And due to a particularly good year with our return on investment, our scholarship amounts have risen just over 15% this year, which is running higher than the rising cost of education, which runs at about 3 to 4%. But having said that, none of this would be possible without the generosity of our donors, volunteers, employees, and community partners who continue to invest in the future of Alhambra students. These scholarships represent more than financial assistance. They represent encouragement, opportunity, and a community's belief in the potential of its young people. Behind every scholarship recipient is a network of family members, teachers, mentors, and friends who helped them reach this point. So to everyone who has played a role in supporting these students, thank you. To celebrate this year's scholarship recipients, we have a video that features one of our scholarship winners and gives you a bit more information on the Alhambra Foundation for the Future.
I'm going to school at Arizona State University, Fulton Engineering, and I'm studying biomedical engineering with a focus in biomedical devices. Entering high school, I was like, I'm never doing math, another math class. I'm going to do this in the future, but here I am. So I hope that the research that I do and contribute to in the future can help provide really innovative and efficient solutions for people's really complicated medical problems. Receiving that continuous support from AFF really kept me grounded to my community that I grew up in. I think going to CLA, I felt like a lot of people supported me in the midst of like our mess as middle schoolers and at that really like raw age of like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing, but somehow they were able to see, you know, those talents in us. At that point, I was just like a little Black girl in Phoenix, Arizona, but there's more to that, and there's more that I can do to help people who came after me, whether that's in CLA or in STEM. I think Mr. Wells, he was my math teacher. He really saw those potentials in us, and he really pushed us forward to really an accelerated part of math. So I really am thankful for him and those people throughout our life, especially growing up. It's really important. It's really pivotal in how we grow and develop and the confidence we have entering such a crazy world. So I thank you guys so much.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. If the governing board would be so kind as to come on down, we'll have our recipients come down. We can congratulate them, and then Ms. Bohica will give them their certificate. And I'm going to grab one more piece of paper. Okay, first up, we have Daniel Tellis. Daniel went to Granada East. He is currently going to Arizona State University, studying computer science, and he wants to be a data scientist or a software engineer. Next up, we have Drew Busher. And Drew went to Alhambra Traditional School. He is currently going to ASU. Yes, again, studying business, and he wants to be head of retail when he graduates. Next up, we have Joshua Emmanuel Espinoza Valentin. He went to Madrid. He is currently going to Phoenix College studying fire science, and he wants to go in to be a medical assistant. We have Jocelyn Sanchez. She went to Granada East. She is going to the University of Chicago studying engineer and is looking to go into the field of molecular engineering. This is Marley Ugarte, pardon me. She went to the Girls Innovation. Yeah, let's give her a round of applause, sure. She went to the Girls Innovation Academy. She is currently going to the Arizona Christian University studying education. She is looking to, yeah, that by itself gets applause. She's looking to become a high school math teacher. But we saw it. And we have Nina Gattori. She went to ATS. Yes. She is currently going to Arizona State University studying biology, and she wants to be a dentist. We have a familiar name here. We have Roman Puleo. He went to Alhambra Traditional School, ATS. He is currently going to Northern Arizona University studying accounting, and he is interested in becoming a certified public accountant. This is Sebastian Tellis. Sebastian went to Granada East School. We have a lot of Granada East kids here today. Granada East School. He's currently going to GCU, and he is studying applied management, and he wants to be the owner of a production company and make entertainment content. This is Sophia. Sophia, I gotta say it right. Urrutia. Thank you very much. Sophia Urrutia. She goes to Sevilla. She went to Sevilla West School. She's now going to Arizona State University studying biology, and her career track is to be an orthopedic surgeon. We have a familiar face. Here's the star of our video over here. This is Tamaya Jackson Long, and she went to Choice Learning Academy. She is going to Arizona State University studying biomedical engineering and would like to be a lab professor. This is Leslie Gutierrez, and Leslie is currently going to Arizona State University studying electrical engineering, and she wants to be an electrical engineer. Is there anybody else here that maybe came in late that we didn't get a chance to recognize? All right, can we get everybody to come back up and we'll drive a picture with everybody? And let's give one last round of applause. And it's a scooch. And parents, if you want to come up and grab a picture, please don't fill out your deal to your church. Come right up. Hey, hold up those certificates, but don't hold them up in front of somebody's face there. Okay? Count of three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to let these folks take their pictures if anybody wants. Give them one more round of applause. Hey.
We'll have some board member comments. I'll go ahead and get started. Congratulations to all of the recipients. It's so great to see that you're coming back home to Alhambra. And one of the things that I know myself and other board members do is we listen to what your professions are and to what your majors are, because we want you to come back and work in Alhambra, because this is your community. So please consider elementary education, not high school education. But just know that this is your community, this is your home, this is your district, and you're always welcome to come back, either as a volunteer or as a teacher or even in the future. If any of you are parents, please enroll your students as well. Any other comments?
Yeah, I'll make some comments. I'm glad to hear there's a bunch of Granada East graduates here, promoters, because that's where I went as well. Also an Alhambra Foundation for the Future Scholar, and it helped me pay for all sorts of supplies and all the things that come with going to school. So really grateful to all of the donors, to the district staff who help support this program. And the world is your oyster. So take advantage of the opportunities, and really, really looking forward to seeing what you all can do in the future.
Congratulations to all of you and to the families that supported you and helped you get this far in your journey. I am so excited to see the diversity of places where people are going. Some of you are traveling far from home, but some of you are taking advantage of our wonderful community college program right here at Phoenix Community College. I think that's amazing that that you're making all these choices that are special for you, and that you're making choices that are going to benefit us as a society and as a community. Keep up the hard work, because it's only just begun, ladies and gents. There's lots of stuff still coming your way, but there's also fun in college. So have fun. Don't just study. Congratulations.
Before we go on recess, if any of those ASU students, you still have time to go to a real university. Thank you. And with that, we'll take a break until recess until 6:20. Thank you. Here, we're going to reconvene. So we're going to E, public comment. There is no public comment today. Going to F, consent agenda. I call for a motion that the governing board approves consent agenda items number F2 through F10.
I move that the governing board approve consent agenda items F2 to F10.
Thank you, Mr. Solorio. Is there a second?
Guess what? Second.
Thank you, thank you, Ms. De Ocampo. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion passes. Ms. Perry?
President Navarez, Vice President Conchas, governing board members, Superintendent Dr. Myers, and our Alhambra community. It is my pleasure, with the approval of our consent agenda, it's my pleasure to introduce the newest member of our Alhambra leadership team. And I'd like to introduce Mr. Patrick Coronado as the new assistant principal at Granada East. Thank you. Mr. Coronado joins us from the Gilbert Public School District as a teacher, and we are excited about joining with him, his family this evening, his parents, future in-law and fiance, and we are excited to learn more about him and all the wonderful things he'll do at Granada. Mr. Coronado.
Thank you for the introduction, Ms. Perry. Good evening, President Navarez, governing board members, and Superintendent Dr. Maez. I am honored and excited to join the Alhambra Elementary School District as the assistant principal at Granada East Elementary. My career in education began in Gilbert Public Schools, where I have served as a third grade teacher and worked with students in a variety of other roles, including coaching, being a summer camp director, and facilitating professional development focused on communication and classroom management systems. These experiences have strengthened my commitment to building meaningful relationships, fostering positive learning environments, and supporting the success of every student. I am looking forward to partnering with Ms. Bunch, the dedicated staff at Granada East, and the entire school community. I'm excited to build relationships with students, staff, and families, and to contribute to the outstanding work already taking place at Granada. Thank you for this opportunity to serve the students and families of Alhambra. I am grateful for your confidence in me and look forward to making a positive impact alongside the Granada East team. Thank you.
Any board comments?
Welcome. I know you're going to do great work.
And also, we'd like to say welcome to the Alhambra Familia, to the Alhambra family. And also, you have your family here with you. Can your family please rise and be recognized? Thank you to your family for letting us borrow you in terms of our mission of educating the whole child. Here in Alhambra, we want to make sure that everyone is welcome, and we know that your wife is also a teacher, so she needs to come to Alhambra as well. All right.
Keep recruiting.
Any kids? No. Going to G, Business Department. G1, 2026-2027 proposed annual budget. I call for a motion that the governing board approve. We have a presentation from Mr. Coffinger.
Thank you. Good evening, President Navarez, potentially, governing board members, Dr. Maez, and Alhambra community. This evening, I would like to present the proposed 2026-2027 expenditure budget. All right, so when we look at the annual budget cycle, this is the first step. We are proposing here today. We will be recommending adoption on July 9th. If needed, we will do a December revision, and we will be doing our final revision for the FY27 year in May. All right, so on the FY26 budget revision in May, you may remember I said, if I were a betting man, I would bet we would be proposing and adopting on draft forms. We are proposing and adopting on draft forms. However, I must be fully transparent. The final forms came out Monday. Because of our timeline, we are going to be proposing and adopting on the draft forms. However, this year that is less of a hurdle, and it is less unclear. Because this year, when the Auditor General released the draft forms, they are allowing us to include the 2% base level. So traditionally, if you may recall, when we've had to budget on draft forms, we've had to use the previous year's base level. So that takes one of the variables out of the equation by proposing and adopting on draft forms.
Mr. Coventry, could you explain what that 2% increase in base level mean?
Sure. When there is a base level amount that is in the funding formula, it is statutorily, and I believe it's constitutionally required to go up at least 2%, or the inflation rate, with the lesser of the two is what happens. So inflation rate's been way over 2%. So that's pretty much how it's been 2% for at least 15 years or so. So it is statutorily required that each student's base level amount, and when we multiply with that funding formula with ADM, goes up 2%. So this year, with that 2% increase, that base level amount is $5,215.53.
Thank you.
Gosh, I hope they can afford it.
All right. So I didn't do that. All right, here we are. So as I was mentioning, we're proposing tonight on those draft forms. The requirement is that we propose by July 15th in order to adopt by July 15th. Did I say that? I think I said 5th. Sorry, July 5th and July 15th. But we don't do special meetings generally, and if we can work this into our regular governing board meetings, we do. So that is why we're using the timeline that I've mentioned. The requirements between the proposed and adopted are very strict. You can only make minimal changes in a downward fashion between the proposed and adopted. So we do our best to not make changes between the proposed and adopted to give the requirement of time and the double passing of the budget. Okay, so our 2026-2027 budget strategy. So traditionally, we try to budget conservatively. And what does that mean? That means that by the end of the year, in May, we would rather be revising up than down. It's better to add to our budget at the end of the year than to take away. So what does that mean in terms of what is the strategy? What we do is we tend to overestimate a decline in enrollment to get us to the point where who actually is our enrollment in FY27 will allow us to revise up in May. Our target with that fluctuation of students, our target with our teacher to student ratio across the district is 25-1. Obviously, this changes between the lower grades and the upper grades, but across the board, it's a 25-1 average that we're trying to get to. So in looking at that, here's our average daily membership, and this is weighted. Remember, it's not directly the same as enrollment. So no, the 25-26 year was not 10,124 students, but with the weighted ADM, that's what it turns into with the formula. You can see the changes in enrollment between the years here. So we had a 2% decline from the 23 to 24 years. Then comparing that, we went down 1.29%. And then this current year, this past year, if you will, the FY26 year, we had a 5% decline. So we are, as I'm mentioning, we are budgeting conservatively with an ADM change of just under 6%.
Mr. Coventry?
Yes.
My understanding is we had a huge jump, obviously, from a negative 1.29% to a negative 5.07%. And I know that, for example, we have closed the Valencia Newcomer School, and there have been a variety of different things that have been happening in our community on the federal level, especially when it comes to immigration enforcement. So can you help me understand that for this projected budget, we are sticking to 5.91 as a projected decrease for this next fiscal year?
That's correct. And you bring up great points, and that's why we are increasing the decline, if you will, right? We're anticipating less than even we had last year in terms of a change.
And so if for some reason we are fortunate enough where it is not 5%, maybe goes back to something like a 2.5, then that would be okay, because we would then be decreasing or increasing revenue rather than having to under budget. Is that correct?
Yes, you're understanding perfectly. That is the challenge with current year funding, is that at this point we have to anticipate our enrollment, which is very difficult to do outside of looking at historical trends. So if you recall that just in May, we had our FY26 revision and we revised our budget up about 6 million. That was that in action. That was, we had more students than we had anticipated, and we were able to then revise up to the true number. So right now it's a guess, and it trues up at the end of the year.
And one last point on enrollment. Dr. Mayas, I know that we have approved the director of enrollment, I believe. Can you, just for the public, can you talk a little bit about that position and what we hope to gain from that?
Absolutely. Right. Thank you, Vice President Conchas and Governing Board and Community. We are really excited right now because our office teams, and a shout out and I want to express gratitude to our office teams who have been working closely with our new student recruiter. And they've been canvassing our community all summer long and will continue to. And so we've got a really neat dashboard that Mr. Zatino shared a little bit about our last Governing Board meeting that shows where everyone's keeping track of the activity that they're doing. And so we have a lot of various activities planned, and we're actually hopeful that we will be able to increase enrollment. And so again, we've got some pretty high goals, and we'll keep you updated.
Thank you. And the reason I wanted to inform the public about that is because when you look at a negative 5.91%, you know, your eyes get big. You're like, why is that happening? But once you understand the story of how we calculate this, and also of the lead measures that we've had in terms of enrollment, then it all makes more sense that we're actually in an optimistic place, even though it doesn't look like that on this slide.
Yeah, I would agree. And just to finish that thought, we'd much rather be thinking about money that's coming in at the end of the year and what do we want to do with it moving forward than going the other way. Moving on. So I wanted to highlight some revenue changes that we are again, these are all anticipated because all of these are driven by enrollment. So with this decline, just under 6% decline, that would mean, even with the base level, because that's 2%, right? That would mean that in terms of revenue, new money that would be coming into the district, there would be a $737,000 less. We would get that much less in FY27 than we got in the FY26 year. Another piece of the funding formula revolves around our TEI, our Teacher Experience Index, which is a small piece of the funding formula, but this is based on how veteran your teaching staff is, because presumably they will then fall further on your salary schedule. So it is a mechanism to address that. And with that, our TEI calculation actually went up, and this is from the previous year's ADM. So this one is actually previous year. So this number is going to be very close to this. So you can see the nice thing is those kind of offset. So if it all were, again, it's projections, but if it all worked out like I'm saying it will today, those would almost cancel each other out, and we'd be at zero between those two, because that does fall in the M&O budget as well. In the classroom site fund, you see this is a per pupil amount. $842 from the previous year is now at $883, but again, decline in enrollment. So it is less that we will be receiving in new money this year. So $113,000 drop there. And capital also tied to pretty much the same as M&O in terms of how it's funded. With these numbers, we anticipate a just under $500,000 drop in new money there.
And one question that I have for the public is, we have decided this year to close 2 entities, the Valencia Newcomer School and the Choice Learning Academy. So if Mr. Coppinger or Superintendent Myers or Ms. Bill, you can tell us how some of those changes offset some of these numbers.
Yes, thank you, Vice President Conchas and the Governing Board. So this past school year, I know Ms. Perry and I were just talking about this, wanting to ensure that we're keeping our dollars in the classroom, ensuring, as Mr. Coffinger shared, that our goal is to have 25 kids in a class and honor that. With keeping to that, because of our declining enrollment and with consolidating Westwood and CLA, we were able to reduce the number of teachers needed because of the decreased enrollment. So we have 25 less classroom teachers. And with the 25 less teachers, we still, again, will have that average of about 25 students per classroom teacher. And then we also, because we have less kids, we reduced special area teachers, because with with several hundred less students, you don't need as many special area teachers. And so we reduced that area by 12 teachers. And so, and then I even think when you shared about the teacher experience index, we're really proud of the fact that we have high teacher retention. And so, and thankfully the state has a mechanism for recognizing that, because we do have quite a few teachers that are on the bottom half of the salary schedule, and we're proud of that. So, so with those areas that we have been able to provide savings. And so we're planning for this, but still hopeful that we'll have more budget than anticipated so that we can invest it back into our classrooms, our teachers.
Thank you.
The teacher experience index is such an indicator of where we've come as a district from when I first started to run for the board, and it was like the doors were open and everybody was leaving. So this is really impressive that we have built this community that supports our educators, and educators want to come and work in our district. I think as much as there's negative there, that is a positive. And as you say, those two kind of cancel themselves out. Thank you for this information.
Sure. I'd just like to give a shout out to the HR department. The teacher experience index is all based on the SDER report. So it is a very complicated formula, but to sum it up at a high level, basically they take all of the teachers in the state, and that's one. The average, experience is 1. And so we were at 1.04. So it was 1.03 the previous year. We almost went up a whole %. So it was a significant jump. Yes.
I have one other comment on that, and that would be that we did this reduction in staff through natural attrition. We didn't have to lay anybody off. And I think that's very different than neighboring districts and other communities that do have to lay people off.
Yeah. And I have one more slide for questions here, but just as a final point, I'd like to mention, we all tend to say budget and throw that around as the district finances, but I think it's a good, it's kind of a good mindset to budget means revenue. We're talking revenue right now. So mentioning the closure of our schools, that's expense. And so, yes, the one place where they intersect is our carry forward. So how much do we have left at the end of the year? That's the place where those two intersect. So yes, we are hoping that with lower expenses, our budget's lower, but we're right where we want to be, and those are happening in tandem.
And we were able to do that, thankfully, because of the support of our community, support of our governing board. So
Just to hammer it home, did we have any pay decreases?
No, we did. We had a 1% increase across our salary schedule, and we honored steps and levels. So
Amazing. Thank you.
all right, I'm happy to answer any other questions if you have any.
Yeah, I have one, which is maybe white elephant in the room. So with the proposed budget, this is based on property assessments and the designations that certain properties in our district have as opposed as nonprofit versus profit. Do we have any confidence that that's been done, that has been figured out the way, not equitably, but accurately?
Thank you for the question. I don't want to get too far in the weeds with that one. However, the budget numbers that we're talking about today and that we are asking for approval for are not, they're not dependent on that, on how we get it, on how we get the revenue. There's a sliding scale as to how much is our community and how much is state. That is what you're referring to there. So I want to make that distinction that our $84 million budget on M&O that is not
a fact.
Dependent on how or who is going to be providing those funds and the share of those funds. On the other end of it, yes, we did see that the assessed valuations because remember that was lagging, the assessed valuations were very similar between the 2 years. So we do not see a drastic change and do not anticipate having similar conversations as we've had in the last few months.
Okay, thank you.
And I have a technical question. Obviously, I'm very opposed to any tax rate increases on our community. But does the governing board or who has the authority to increase the property tax on the community for school and education revenue?
Only the community. The qualifying tax rate is set by the state, and with that base level amount, to go back to your original question about the $5,200, that number is set by the state because it then is going to calculate which districts get more state aid, which districts are getting contribute more from their local taxpayers, and that's how they balance it all out. A increase to taxes can only be done, the only mechanisms are through your overrides, your bonds, or adjacent ways, which we haven't utilized in quite some time here. But only as an increase is the way if we're using that term as a new tax increase, only the community can do that through vote.
And as a follow-up, because you mentioned overrides, I know that the governing board is going out for an override election this November. And so is this budget, does that include, how are the overrides that have been passed in the previous overrides that have been passed versus the voters will decide yay or nay in November? How have those overrides been calculated into this budget?
So we are currently, the capital override that has been approved, I want to speak, it's still in play. I think we have 2 years left on that capital override. That is a $5 million capital override. We are going out a year early, but this budget for the 27 year is going to still be that previous election. If we are fortunate enough to get a renewal, that next override will be on the 28 year.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Coppinger, and thank you to the superintendent and the executive team.
Thank you.
All right, I call for a motion that the governing board approve the proposed 2026-2027 expenditure budget and sign the proposed summary.
I move that the governing board approve the proposed 26-27 expenditure budget and sign the proposed summary.
Thank you, Mr. Solorio. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Ocampo. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor vote aye. Aye. The motion passes. Moving to G2 financial report. The submitted monthly report provides the district's financial status as of the report for the month of June 2026, and it's available in your board packet. Moving to H, new business. H1, approval of amendment to the intergovernmental agreement, the IGA, between the City of Phoenix and the Alhambra Elementary School District. The administration recommends the governing board approve the amendment to the IGA to support early childhood education. I call for a motion that the governing board approve the amendment to the IGA support for early childhood education between the City of Phoenix and the Alhambra Elementary School District.
That the governing board approve the amendment to the IGA to support early childhood education.
Thank you, Mr. Solorio. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Ocampo. Any discussion?
Money for those little ones. We can get those foundations with those early childhood children,
Can you,
students, then we will be better off in every grade level after that. So yes, thank you for whoever made this happen.
once again, I also want to reiterate, thank you to the City of Phoenix for the increases and also for continuing to be a strong partner in this. We really appreciate the City of Phoenix being the model for how cities should work with their school districts. And we hope that the City of Glendale will follow suit. Thank you. With that, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes. Moving to H2, Global Academy of Phoenix update. The Global Academy of Phoenix International Baccalaureate update to the Alhambra Elementary School District Governing Board. The update is to keep us informed on our processes and accomplishments. And that information is available in your packet. Going to I, Human Resources. I1, Superintendent Contract. The board will accept and approve the contract extension for the superintendent of the Alhambra Elementary School District. And this, I call for a motion that the governing board approve the contract extension for the superintendent of the Alhambra Elementary School District.
I move that the governing board approve a contract extension with Dr. Cecilia Maez as superintendent for the Alhambra Elementary School District.
Thank you, Mr. Solorio. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. De Ocampo. Any discussion? With discussion, I'd like to reiterate my support, and I would like to appreciate Dr. Maez for, I believe it is your 5th year in the Alhambra Elementary School District. It's also my 5th year as well. So we've been working and growing together, and I just want to appreciate and validate you as our leader, and let you know that the fact that we have the trust of the district in your hands, it makes me sleep well at night. And I also want to reiterate that a lot of the things that are happening in the neighboring districts, we don't see a lot of that here in the Alhambra Elementary School District because one, we work collaboratively as a board, but also it's because with our superintendent, a superintendent's job is to work with the board and to inform the board and to get the board to be consensus. Essentially, it's like herding cats. And she's really, really good at that, especially me. Sometimes I'm the wild one. But she does a really good job with Grace, and she is everywhere. She was in the governor's office today. She came to the City Hall grand opening of the Glendale City Hall chambers. She was at the Boys and Girls Club opening. I don't know when you sleep, especially because you have your children and your own personal life. And also, we want you to take more vacations. But thank you very much for being the superintendent here and for continuing this contract with us.
I want to express my appreciation for all you do. Every day in the newspaper, you read about horrible things that are happening in other districts, and everything you read about Alhambra, wherever you see Dr. Maez, it's positive. And she always has students with her. It's not just her standing up there. She's got students, she's got parents. She is unifying our community for the betterment of all of us. And for that, I'm grateful. I also am grateful for the trust that we have built together as a team. So thank you for all your hard work. And yes, sometimes you are the feral cat.
Yeah, and I just want to, +1 for everything everyone said, including the PTO comment, because you need to take some PTO eventually, please. Yeah, it's been 5 years, I feel like. Either way, it's a definitely a point of pride for me as a school board member to have a leader like you. Something that I always mention to my peer board members in other school districts, just how much trust is built with the board, with you, and then ultimately just like how that reflects with the work that you do with the district, and how we're kind of in many ways performing a lot better than other districts that are in similar situations. So definitely appreciate your leadership there, and looking forward to continuing to work with you for the remainder of my term.
And the last thing I want to say is that Dr. Mice is always in the classroom. She's also even offered to substitute for teachers when they're out. So, and the students know her. The students know her name, and the parents know her. And she's always at sporting events and performances and everything. And she's whipping back and forth between campus to campus. And I could just imagine how many miles you put on your car going all across the district. And so thank you for always working hard for the district. And with that, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. All right, moving to J, comments and communications. J1, comments from governing board members.
I think I have two. I'm going to start with addressing Dan back there. Please tell I know you didn't put that budget together on your own, so please thank your team, and that includes HR, who helps you put that together, because that is a lot of math and a lot of research. So thank you for doing that, and please make sure the team knows how much we appreciate what they did to help us get that budget together. And then second of all, I want to extend and comment on the fact that our ATS student and principal and Dr. Maez were at the Capitol in reference to a bill that has a lot of meaning for the students in the school on 27th Avenue. This was a bill that helped make sex trafficking a felony, I think, isn't that what it meant? And if you know that 27th Avenue is a street, well, it helped us. We got them out of our neighborhood on 19th Avenue. So now they're on 27th Avenue. So watch out, 35th Avenue, they're probably coming your way. But yes, I think that was a great recognition that one of our students was included in that planning. Thank you for making that happen.
I'd like to give kudos to our child nutrition and our Alhambra Family Resource Center, and also to the transportation department. There has been a statistic that almost 500,000 of Arizonans have lost their SNAP benefits, their food assistance. And so we know that we have a lot of our students and a lot of our community that is going hungry. And so we have a hunger epidemic, and we know that our teams are out there, and we'll probably get an update from the executive team, looking at Miss Billy over there, about all the work that they're doing in terms of food boxes, in terms of food distributions, in terms of having our cafeterias open. And so I encourage anyone, if you are hungry, please come. Let us know on the Alhambra, any of our school sites, any of our staff. Let someone know, and we will make sure to find some food for you and for your family. And those are my comments for now. And actually, wait. Also, to the heat relief centers. It's really hot out there. I was standing outside for like 3 minutes while the door was locked and just dripping in sweat. But I just can't imagine what some of our unhoused neighbors are experiencing. And so there is a heat relief network through the Arizona Faith Network. And so please utilize those. And if you have an opportunity to go and volunteer, please do as well. Thank you. All right, moving to J2, comments from superintendent and executive team.
Good evening, everyone. This evening, we will begin our comments with from Ms. Billy.
Thank you, President Navarez, Vice President Conchas, members of the board, and Dr. Maez. We are excited to share that our Alhambra Community Care Center, formerly known as the Family Resource Center, has officially relocated to the Simpson campus, formerly CLA. More than a new location, this move represents an expansion of our vision, creating a comprehensive community hub that connects students, families, and residents with essential resources and support. Through the Community Care Center, families can receive assistance applying for and maintaining eligibility for SNAP benefits, access food boxes, and connect with other local resources and health services. In partnership with the Child Nutrition and Federal Projects teams, the center will also help families access Sunbucks, formerly known as Summer EBT. This summer, 7,116 Alhambra students were automatically eligible to receive $120 per student in Sunbucks benefits because they qualify through programs such as SNAP, TANP, McKinney-Vento, Head Start, or other direct certification methods. Benefits began being issued in June and will continue through August. Through the ongoing verification efforts of our child nutrition team, we have also identified an additional 880 students who are also eligible. Our team is currently working with the Arizona Department of Education to ensure that they are added to the state system so that they can receive their benefits. For families who believe they qualify but do not receive Sunbucks automatically, information on how to apply through the ADE is now available on our district website, in addition to a list of local food pantry locations. Looking ahead to August, we are especially excited to expand the Community Care Center's services. In addition to continuing food box distributions for Alhambra families, we will open up a community pantry that will be available to all residents within our district boundaries. This expansion reflects our ongoing commitment to supporting the whole child by ensuring that students and families have access to the basic resources that they need. We're very grateful for a community that continues to support our schools, and this is one meaningful way that we can give back.
Good evening, President Navarez, Vice President Conchas, Governing Board members, Dr. Myers, and our Alhambra community. This evening, with the approval of our consent agenda, I'm very excited to share that Alhambra and our HR department will have secured agreements with over 20 universities, colleges, and organizations to continue to build our pipeline for future educators and Alhambra Familia. These agreements allow for student practicum placements for future teachers, psychologists, nurses, counselors, speech pathologists, just to name a few. We look forward to welcoming these practicum students on our campuses, and we know this is a really wonderful way to have future employees with us, and we hope to recruit them all. Please, if you see them, welcome to them. You welcome them to your campuses. I want to thank Coordinator Marjorie Paez, who leads this work and does an excellent, phenomenal job of making these matches and getting them to become employees as well. And thank you to the board, as always, for your support for that. Thank you.
Good evening, Governing Board, Dr. Mays, and the Alhambra community. Educational Services Department would like to extend a special thank you to our district learning team, Laura, our assessment specialist, and the testing team for their dedication and collaboration in supporting student success, from creating student goal booklets that encourage student reflection and growth, to helping launch our new literacy assessment platform during summer school. We are excited to use this valuable early literacy data to strengthen instruction and support student achievement with our student goal booklets. Thank you.
Thank you all. And the few things I'll add, first, I want to congratulate Mr. Coronado and welcome you to our administrative team. So we're excited to have you. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, no, no. Yeah. Yeah, so welcome to the team. And then I'd also, again, I had shared earlier, but we're super proud of all the canvassing and things that we're doing to ensure that everyone knows that Alhambra is the best choice for any child's education. And I'm also excited about all the intentional planning we're doing now to continue to increase parent engagement this next school year. So a lot of great things going on, as Ms. Tamayo mentioned, also with our focus on our academics, with ensuring students are learning how to set goals. And we just have a lot of great things going on right now. We're super excited about planning for our admin retreat that's coming up so that we can just create some positive energy as we look forward to an amazing school year. Then we have our team leaders that are coming on July 16th so that we can all unite and ensure our teachers receive the support they need to ensure students accelerate learning. And then we've got our back to school celebration. So right now I know there's a lot of great planning going on, and it's super exciting as we plan for the next school year. So many things. I could go on and on just because I'm so proud of all the amazing things that are happening right now to kick off an amazing school year. But I will just say thank you to everyone for all that you're doing. And I want to express a sincere gratitude to our governing board for your confidence in me. And I will continue to serve our community well. And you all know, especially I know two of our principals are in the back, hold me accountable because I know it's you all who are doing the most just incredible work as you lead, as you're closest to our incredible children and our staff who are so close to our kids. And so you heard the board, and hold me accountable. So we all continue to do great work for our children and our community. And even as you had mentioned, when I had left the Glendale City Council event, that was a day off for our school district because we were honoring Juneteenth the following day, and so I was in the neighborhood, and I thought, let me stop by Westwood just to see how the projects are going as we prepare it for consolidation. And again, day off, and you know who was there? Miss Bunch. And of course, her faithful sister, both there, as there's a ton of boxes, a ton of work to be done. And I encourage them too, so take some time off. But it's just such an honor to work alongside such hardworking, dedicated people to our community. So thank you all. You're joining a great team, Patrick. Yeah. And with that, my last comment is I just would like to honor Claire Perry, HR Executive Director, who's served humbly for 30 years in this school district. And I shared with Claire, we met today, and I can't help but get emotional thinking about just how grateful I am to have served alongside such an amazing administrator in our HR department. And so I can't thank you enough for just all you've done to support me as a superintendent and all that you've done to support our amazing community the last 30 years. And so thank you. You leave behind an amazing legacy, and I just wish you all the best in your retirement. So it's our very last board meeting. So congratulations, Claire.
All right, moving to J3, Governing Board Direction and/or Agenda Item Requests. And we got a school named a school named after Miss Perry, or at least her office. But on a more serious note, I had a conversation with Ms. Billiou and a brief conversation with Dr. Mayas about how exciting the Alhambra Community Care Center is and how the Alhambra Family Resource Center, that is a chapter that is now closing, and now we're going to the new Simpson campus. And one of the things that I want to introduce and ask the superintendent's executive team to look into is an enrollment center. And so with a variety of different types of documents that our families need in order to enroll, whether it's vital records, whether it's immunizations, a variety of different things. I would like to have a hub where we have all of those government entities in one place, because a lot of our families, they take the bus or they don't have means of transportation, and it could potentially take a few days out of the classroom, out of learning for our kids if their families have to go to an appointment to vital records and then an appointment down to the public health center. And so I would like to see us consolidate all that into one place so that when families come to the Alhambra Community Care Enrollment Center or the Simpson Enrollment Center, whatever we want to call it, they have all their records ready. They have their packet and their enrollment packet ready, and they can just take that to their home school, and they can get in the classroom as soon as possible. And also too, with the Family Resource Center relocating, I'd like to know more information about what we're doing with the current space or the old space over at the Barcelona campus, and also if we're able to continue to open that space up to the community. That would be preferred to see what we can do in terms of that space, or if we're going to be using it for classroom space. I'd just like to know what we're going to be doing with that space in the future. Any other direction? All right. Moving to K, meeting closing. K1, the next governing board meeting will be held on July 9th, 2026. K2, calendar of events. We have a calendar of events here, and I'm not going to read it, but it is in your board packet. And then K3, adjournment. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. This meeting is adjourned.